The DJ accepts no responsibility for the next record.
Say what?
Oh no, he didn't.
Where's the money, man? Where's my money?
It's time to man up, America.
Let's do this.
All right, we're back here in the studio. I have with me two gentlemen who are more fit than I and remind me 3 days a week at Anytime Fitness. If you have not been to Anytime Fitness, you need to go, and this is why. At Anytime Fitness, Jim Lemieux and Ryan here, and you got a team. It's not just you two guys. There's a whole team over there ready to serve.
Exactly.
You get more than just the, hey, here's the key and there's the treadmill kind of thing. And so I'm putting myself through the ringer. When we endorse kind of things on the show, like even the sponsors that we take for ManUp, I want to just take anybody. Like we've had a couple of sponsors I've turned down. Either I wasn't very familiar with what they do, or I want to speak. I want to man up with people who do good business. And I've always, as a small business person, felt like, all right, you tell people openly that's a good place to do business, that's a bad place to do business kind of thing. So I'm immersing myself in the Anytime Fitness thing, and I got to say that so far I'm very, very impressed because you guys I learned something. Now, for those of you, I mean, I joke about being out of shape, but I've been in a gym pretty much since high school, okay? Mm-hmm. I went through fitness training in high school, plyometrics when it was really popular back in the 90s because of playing sports. In college, I continued to work out. I was very slim and lean, so I went through a phase of not trying to be slim and lean and trying to build muscle. I've been through all of these cycles, and so I'm familiar with fitness across the board. In the first meeting I had at Anytime Fitness, I learned things about myself I didn't know, that I absolutely did not know. And it's because your high-tech approach gives people who come, gives your members the opportunity to have that information. So when I look at fitness now, everything is intentional. I don't feel like I'm just doing things to do things. I know exactly what I'm trying to do. So I feel like that's what you're doing with everybody. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's our goal. Yeah, we want to educate and help give you the precise formula so you know exactly, okay, this is the goal I've got to meet today. You know, we were talking about calories and stuff like that. That's what we want, education so that people are actually getting results and not just hopping on the treadmill, spinning their wheels for 8-9 months and then dropping off.
Yeah, no, that doesn't do any good. I've never known my entire life my resting calorie rate. And you guys have this wonderful process that kind of gives us a good indicator of what it takes what I have to consume to just breathe every day.
Exactly.
If I didn't do anything, this is how many calories I'm likely going to burn respirating.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So now I know, well, if I can reduce my caloric intake with what I'm eating, and also increase the calories I'm burning, somewhere in between there, I'm making progress.
Right.
I feel like even in the see, that's the danger of fitness for me, is I never feel, if I've got to feel like I'm making progress in small stages. So if you don't see muscle mass build or you don't see the weight fall off, you start thinking, man, I'm just doing nothing. I'm spinning my wheels in the mud. But because you've given me information, I know today that even though I may not feel any slimmer, that I'm in a negative 500 calorie deficit for today.
Right.
And that makes you feel like progress, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then that's what it takes. That's the magic number is you want to be at that 500 per day, 7 days a week. That equals out to 3,500 calories over the course of a week. 3,500 calories is 1 pound. And that's going to be pounds of fat that we're talking about. You know, when people, especially if you're really overweight, you can lose a lot of water weight and different things in the beginning. That's when you see people losing 5 to 10 pounds in a week. You know, most of that is going to be water. If you can burn 2 pounds, lose 2 pounds a week of fat, you're going to be right where you need to be.
All right, and like you guys have been really good about based on that formula I just gave you. I do need to say this: don't take on a spiritual fast and think that's because, like you indicated, you need some calories. You want a deficit there. You don't want an absence there. You don't want a vacuum.
Exactly.
Because when your body has a vacuum, it's something else I learned. When your body has a vacuum, it doesn't necessarily turn to fat first when it goes into crisis mode.
Right.
It'll start consuming muscle, which is what you don't want, correct?
Exactly.
I think, Jim, you mentioned that.
Yeah, well, we had a discussion because one of the biggest challenges we have, especially with women, they have a tendency to say, I'm just not going to eat and I'm going to get on a treadmill for like an hour or 2 hours. And what happens is you become catatonic and your body needs calories. To maintain, like you said, just at an resting rate. So what you'll find is a reverse reaction versus a benefit. And that's what we use the technology for, to find out, okay, what did you lose? Did you lose fat or did you actually lose muscle? And that's where we come in with the education. So that's where I'm blessed to have Ryan and the team we're building here with, people that are, either if you're looking for speed and agility, or if you want to be a bodybuilder, or if you just want to have general fitness, we can fit all those and be able to take it and apply it to each individual person.
Well, I went to these guys with a goal in mind, not a hard goal, but I wanted to lose some of the gut here, right? I felt like I feel like I'm carrying too much weight around on a daily basis. So we got a quick video of just the past week. All right, keep in mind, we're about a week in. We had you guys on last week. We're going to do a checkpoint each week. We'll talk a little bit about some of the things we've done in this video and a little bit about how people can benefit from Anytime Fitness. But let's go to that video and see a little bit about how week 1 went for the Good Doctor. All right, guys, here I am at Anytime Fitness. I'm going to go in here, and they're going to put together a 30-day training plan for me to get some of this gut off. I mentioned I weigh more now than I've ever weighed in my life, so we're going to go in here to Anytime Fitness and see what these guys can do for a sap like me.
What's up, Mr. Adam?
Are you ready?
Are you
Are you ready to make me sexy?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm looking
Absolutely.
for. I need it. We're going to come up with a plan, right?
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it, man.
Look at there, man. Anytime Fitness right here in Cleveland, Tennessee. State-of-the-art stuff. Look at the studio. Isn't that pretty? Right there. All right, so my man, he's going to help me out. He's going to get me fixed up. Tell everybody who you are again, that when they can come see you,
I'm
what
Ryan
time you're
Douglas.
here.
Yeah, I'm the head coach here at Anytime Fitness. Basically, anytime between 8 and 8, just drop in and see us. We'll be here.
All right, Ryan's going to hook me up. And so
We're just going to come in here, and first we're going to get a height measurement using our laser height finder there, and then we're going to come in here and get his body fat and body weight, and total body water, all of that stuff. We're going to get it all set up.
So the results are 210 pounds. I don't know what this skeletal muscle mass thing, but he'll talk about that. But I do know the body fat at 20.8% is no bueno. No bueno. So that's what we're going to try to target right there. 210 pounds and 20% suited up. ManUp shirt intact. Let's get this on the road. There we go. To be continued. We've had 1 weekend, and we put that little clip there at the end. Me taking a sip of water because I was so angry at Ryan because my abs were like, I was just like, man, I need some water. Oh man. Yeah, so as you saw in the video, we started with a clear assessment of where we are. This isn't a foreign concept to a lot of industries. I know with Stage AVL and Project Teach Tech, we always start with a client assessment on that side. If you're Woodman Life on the financial services side, first thing you're doing is a needs assessment with people. You're always looking and saying, okay, I need to understand more about you before I can develop a plan. So one thing that's part of your process that seems to stand out is when you first sign up for the membership, you guys go, all right, we're going to tell you exactly where we're starting from. We're going to get a good picture of you as you are now. And that's where the plan comes forward. We're not just going to open the door for you. We're not just going to show you how the equipment works, okay? We're not just going to show you how to turn the TV on and off on the treadmill. We're actually going to show you what condition you're in, because I never knew I had like 21% body fat. I thought I was a little leaner than that, right? Okay. I also didn't know that 16% body fat is not a bad percentage to have. So there's a realistic goal and expectation. I don't know. I saw Thor Ragnarok last night. Oh. And the Hemsworth boy makes me want to have like 3% body fat, exactly. But it's not going to happen. So 16's achievable, and even though I didn't know I had 21, I'm like 5% body fat away. This is something I can push towards. Yeah. So clients walk in. Now, you've got a 30-day special right now where people can experience this very process, right?
Right, exactly. We're doing a 30-day experience where we're going to give you access to all of our group training, and then as well as a couple of sessions a week with myself or one of the other trainers where we're really going to get you going on the right foot. So it's not just a single session and then we write out a plan for you. We do that, but on this one, in the 30-day experience, you're going to be following with us for 30 days. We're going to see how much progress and what kind of habits we can instill in that 30-day time frame to really try to make a difference. So that way you'll know if you do something enough times and you go through it as you're learning now, you'll remember the stuff that causes you pain and causes you, discomfort.
It's good pain,
way.
though.
It's good pain.
It hurts so good.
It's a good
Who's
pain,
saying that?
exactly. Exactly. But so we're just
John
trying
Cougar.
to instill those habits, and and it will make a difference. That's what we're shooting for. We want you to be after 30 days like, all right, I know exactly what I'm doing. I can hit the ground running here.
Key word there. You used it twice. Habit. Jim, you've talked about what it takes to build a habit before.
Yeah,
right.
It's just something you got to follow through consistently. And, as we say, it's 21 days to create any type of habit. But what I want to step back is what you said. We came with the assessment, but have you noticed the follow through?
Yeah.
And it's all about the follow through. Because if we didn't have our follow through, you made a commitment to us. We make a commitment to you. We come in, we're right on you. Mm-hmm. We're following through to help you create that habit within yourself. We're trying to create that environment of accountability. And you create your own accountability internally by creating this habit. And that's where the key comes in. You can get loads and loads of data off the internet, from friends, from previously when you worked out in high school, college. There's things changing all the time in the fitness industry. We're going to keep you up to date to that and follow through, and you'll be on the cutting edge and get the best results from that.
Now, we called an audible last week a little bit. I made the commitment on the show when we had you guys on that I was going to put myself through this process. And in review, on the back side of it, we started thinking, well, Adam, you're not the best representation of everybody in a community. And we have a lot of female viewers on the program. Uh-huh. And so we roped my wife into the process. We will not have video of her, which was my agreement. Yeah. But she's been in the past week too, and she and I have this little challenge. Now I'm going to drop a bombshell right now, Ryan, and you need to know this as my wife's trainer.
Let's hear it.
I was looking for the car keys last night, going through the purse. I found her secret stash of Kit Kats.
Uh-oh.
That's right, Rachel.
Rachel's gonna
man up on that.
I'd like to know something. I talked to Rachel last night, and when she left, she said she's enjoying this so much, and she's learning a lot, and she says that she's going to win this thing. And that's great how this has evolved into that. So, in
she's playing dirty.
To that, I have come to present you with some fashions here for all you ladies out there. Rachel, I am behind you. He's the trainer. I'm not, so I can do this.
He's got a Swiss cake roll on there, folks. This is unfair.
We're here to have fun, and I want to.
Y'all are in cahoots because last night she walks into the house with what? A dozen Krispy Kreme, not just glazed, chocolate glazed, my favorite, Krispy Kreme donuts, and she's waving them in front of my face. So she's playing dirty here. What she didn't know, though, was I was already at an 800-calorie deficit for the day.
He's going in. He's doing the rationalization.
Although just merely waving them under my nose was 50 calories. But that's dirty. That's very dirty, Jim.
Oh, yeah,
I know you guys are rooting for Rachel, but I'm going to prove you wrong.
No, he's got nothing to do with it. He's your
I'm
trainer.
an objective observer.
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
He's got to succeed. I'm the one that's behind that. Because here's the thing. This is what makes it fun. We had an individual yesterday, actually, a couple and a friend. They work out together all the time. They've been at all the clubs around. They're saying, we're looking for that club that we can come into and get that personal or small group attention, have fun working out and all that. And that's exactly what we're looking for. And it's camaraderie like you and your wife coming in. Of course, some of your friends might start joining in, where you just coming in, you create your own, things like this to make it fun. At the same time, you're challenging each other, and that's where you're going to get your progress. And that's when we want to see the results. We're here to build testimonies. We just can't wait until after the end of the month when see what happens.
Okay, yeah.
I know.
You sound like Donkey Kong. That's what's happening now. But Rachel is enjoying the process, and this is why. For those of you who don't know this about my wife, she was a college athlete, and her body was very used to high stress, intense workouts when she was in college. She went cold turkey from that to almost staying pregnant for 10 straight years. we had 4 kids, so she was at some point in the pregnancy and child rearing cycle. She jokes and said, I went from expanding my body to retracting my body just to expand it again 4 times. So this is what's happened with her. And obviously, my wife's very, very beautiful. She's still a very fit person, but she's always had trouble getting over the threshold to get some of that pregnancy stuff back. So not to talk too much about it, she's much more critical of herself than I ever am. But she has in her mind what she was in college. Mm-hmm. She's rational enough to know that that's not where she's going to get back. But she's tried workouts. We've gone to other gyms, okay? We've done the treadmill thing. We've done the walk around the track thing. And she's come to the conclusion that because I was so physically active when I was younger, I can't just walk laps around a track and expect to get the results I want to look for.
Exactly.
And you guys are providing her, well, this is how you do get those results.
Absolutely. And, and we're, both of you guys really both been able to push both of you quite a bit. I know you're still playing basketball, still in good athletic shape.
Trying.
You're trying. Well, but I've noticed that. I've been able to push you guys harder than the average client in these first couple of days. But that's where, that's where I think even myself and Jim, we both know that, as trainers ourselves, working with a trainer it's beneficial to anyone. Like, I like to have people train me because it keeps you moving. You're not resting between sets, and somebody's there encouraging you to go harder. When a lot of times we'll give ourselves a break and say, "Oh, I can sit here and rest. I'll text, a little bit."
Oh yeah, no, we're like, "Oh, I'm just going to cut out that last set," and you're like, "No, this is what you're going to do." Then you got this rubber band thing that is a torture device from the Middle Ages. And it had to have been. And it's just this rubber band. And the things that you make me do with that rubber band create, like, I've got muscles that are getting workouts have never been, I'm just
You should see
afterwards.
the pictures of you in that rubber band.
Oh, man. Notice I didn't put any of that in the video clip. Because you look kind of silly, but, man, the burn that you get, the workout that you get.
Oh, yeah, those things are amazing to target the glutes. The glutes are kind of an area that are often, a lot of times, they're underactive in people. Just because we don't use them a lot, we're sitting all day, and those bands will just light them on fire in a matter of seconds. And but it's such a great exercise, and we call it they're the buns of steel.
Oh man, yeah. Everybody remembers that whole marketing gimmick.
See, I like to just to tie up what you were saying. There's 2 points. Rachel made a point, and you just made a point that everybody needs to understand. It is true. When you get in an environment and you have a trainer, you do perform more than you usually would, and you would perform more than you know. I mean, your top athletes have trainers. Some have 3, 4, 5 coaches. So Rachel made a statement last night. She says, I know I got more out of 45 minutes than I do in an hour and a half. That's powerful. That's exactly what we're here about, efficiency. You get in, you're productive, you get results.
Well, and that's what I told you when I came. My enemy is time. My schedule is saturated between work, business, and children. We are very, very occupied. So for me to squeak out an hour is doing good. And that hour's got to work, right? It can't be 15 minutes of cool, warm up and stretches and then 15 minutes of cool down. And you kind of, all right, here's where we go. We're off. We're off to the races, and you feel it. And I appreciate the fit that you saying I'm fit and that I'm playing basketball and stuff. But I really there's another thing that I've become to expect of myself, and I didn't know this when we started, but I'm now expecting my pain threshold to decrease. This is something people don't think about. So this has been a big ManUp revelation for me in this fitness process, and I got to thank you guys for this. Is I'm kind of the Toby Keith now. I'm as good once as I ever was, right? I can do anything once, I think back, there's a story, G Creek Falls. You can jump off of G Creek Falls out in Polk County. So my kids and I, we hike up to G Creek Falls, and we get up there, and I have no intentions of jumping off G Creek Falls. But there are these college kids from Lee. And they're like swan dive, back tuck and all this kind of off the falls into the water. And of course, my son, who was like 8 at the time, looks at me and goes, "Daddy, are you going to jump off the falls? Daddy, are you a real man?" This is kind of what I hear. This is what I hear. Sure. And then, of course, my wife looks at me and goes, "Yeah, Daddy, are you a real man?" So then our friends look at me and go, "Yeah, Daddy, are you a real man?" So, of course, I'm going. I climb up to the top of the falls. I'm off the falls. I do my, my jump off the falls. I come crawling out of the water. My son's like, "Yay, Daddy." And I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, Daddy did it." And Rachel's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." And then but it's like that with basketball, too. I try to play every Sunday night with a group of guys at a local school, and it really is for all of us are there for fitness reasons because we want to be active and we feel like that's a way we can be active. Yeah. Basketball works for me because it's distracting. I don't realize how much running I'm doing, how much workout I'm doing. Distraction works for me, but for the next 48 hours after I play, I'm in pain. Some level of pain. I'm not a pill popper, okay? So I don't like taking Advil for inflammation. I've come to the conclusion in recent years that I've had to take it occasionally. But I've noticed in the past week, too, that as I begin to work out, my pain threshold's coming down after these workouts. It kind of starts high. So it's not that necessarily my body's building tolerance to it, but because I'm moving, my joints aren't inflaming as much. Because I'm burning some calories and things like that, my muscles aren't as sore as they would be. So my pain is improving in life because of fitness. Do you see this with other people?
Absolutely. And, it starts off with, everybody will go through those first couple of painful days after a first workout, when the muscle's rebuilding and all that, and there's some inflammation. But that all heals up. And once those muscles become regularly active, it's amazing. There actually was a study where they found that marathon runners are some of the people that have the highest pain tolerances of anyone. And, it affects the physiology and the brain chemistry and all that. So it's not just the muscles are working better. Physiologically, you can have a higher pain tolerance to different, stimuluses and things like that. So that is an actual real thing for sure.
Well, I'm experiencing it. And that I'm more excited now about that than I am the weight loss and the body fat reduction. I'm more excited about the fact that I don't necessarily have to wake up in pain. And this is only after a week, okay? I've been playing basketball, but now this on top of basketball is going to improve my pain to a great degree.
Absolutely.
We're talking about, in Tennessee and nationwide right now, an opioid crisis. We're cracking down on this opioid crisis. There are people getting addicted to opioids because of where they live in pain on a regular basis. I can't help but think that at least a portion of them would benefit from some level of fitness and some level of understanding like you guys offer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just from the basic stuff, getting your body moving, that alone, when you sit on the couch, and I get, a lot of times people will become inactive because they're in pain, and they don't realize the pain is getting worse because they're inactive, because they're not moving those joints and stuff. But and I tell people this all the time: when you start an exercise program, especially with resistance training, you're going to feel a lot better before you notice any major results. Before that fat starts shedding off, just like you're talking about, within those first 2 or 3 workouts, you will notice that you feel better. When you get out of bed, when you're getting up out of the car and you're standing up, your legs have a little more strength to them and a little more pop. It's amazing how that can happen really quickly.
Yeah, your body's meant to improve. Your body's meant to get, to overcome anything that's stressful. It's just like when you build a muscle, you break down the fibers and then it rebuilds, it gets stronger. If you've ever broken a bone before, you notice there's more calcium. It's stronger than it was prior to the break, regardless of your age. And so if you're sedentary, what happens, you have a lesser pain threshold because you're not allowing your body to evolve and get better. And so when you're pushing yourself and your body's improving, your endorphins go, you feel better, people lose depression, people have a better functionality. Obviously, if you have grandkids, things like that, you have more, you're going to be more active with them than saying, I'll sit out this one, and just like the waterfall, which I'd like to know where that is. So the point being is, all these things, their improvement comes. If you can just get past a few days, you got something behind you and supporting you, you're only going to get better and get to those goals that you want to be. You just got to make that commitment. We're here to commit for you.
Now, I know I have a baby face, but I'm not a young horse anymore. And so you might be asking yourself, to a lot of our viewers and listeners, they might be thinking, well, I'm on the backside of my physical peak here, okay? And some of your older folks. But I've noticed when I've been in at Anytime Fitness, there's some folks in there who are older and later in life, who are, some of them more fit than I am, but they're coming there because not just the convenience of location, but that you have the right equipment for people who fit that description, correct?
Absolutely. We have, all your standard weight machines and equipment that you can use very easily. Just yesterday, I was walking through an 81-year-old lady showing her the machines, and she went through a whole workout. We went through a couple rounds, and she was feeling good afterwards. But it's, we have a lot of the cool stuff, a lot of the tank and different things, ropes that you can use for the avid fitness people. But we've got the basic, the machines that allow you just to sit down and safe and do all the pushing, and that's all you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about any weights falling down and hitting you in the foot or something. And so that is definitely an area that we're excited about, to have people 80 plus in there trying to regain their life a little bit, so they're not getting older and more frail as they age. They're going to get stronger, and
keeping
the body's
their bones
capable.
strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without the risk of injury.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
I'll tell you, age. We had a 63-year-old come in earlier this week. He's here for a couple weeks. His mother lives out here. He's out from Virginia. He's a minister, and he does a 290-pound bench press at 63. So we got that 75-year-old who's coming in from northern Minnesota. He's up by Canada. And he's down here to visit his kids. And he's working all the time.
They probably choose Anytime Fitness because this is something we haven't talked about. If I become a member of Anytime Fitness, you guys, we got this key fob thing. Go ahead and pull one out there, Jim.
Here's your key fob.
This purple key fob. We scan that when we come in the door, and if it's late at night after hours, it actually unlocks the door for you.
Right.
But that's good at other Anytime Fitnesses nationwide, correct?
3,800 worldwide.
Worldwide.
We're in 20 different countries. There's 3,800, the largest franchising of that. And not only this, we work with a lot of vendors within Cleveland, Tennessee. You can walk into many vendors and go ahead and use it. Pull this out, and they're going to give you a discount.
Okay, so it's like a discount card. Great.
Yeah, you want to get some coffee at Lassiter's before you come in. Just go ahead and show all that. Get a little bit of caffeine in you, and you can get make that work.
Minus the sugar.
Yeah,
Minus the sugar.
No cream.
Minus the sugar.
Or we'll be working off those calories.
Yeah, that's right. Or you're going to work the extra 5 minutes.
rationalize.
But this matters because I've committed to this 30-day thing, but we have this very, very special time later this month called Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which I am known to overeat and to sit on my tush and watch football.
Yeah.
That's what I do on Thanksgiving. And we're going to be with my wife's family this year, which my wife is from Douglas, Georgia, which is South Georgia down near Valdosta. Swamp, Georgia, okay? There's an Anytime Fitness in Douglas, Georgia.
Yeah.
So Rachel and I are you've got our plan written out.
Yep.
We'll be able to go to that Anytime Fitness. We'll be able to execute the plan with our personal accountability with each other that while we're down there. And that's something that we've always lacked. And not to disparage because we like them for so many reasons, particularly youth sports and their involvement. But even as a member of the YMCA, I've never been able to go to other YMCAs.
Right.
I can't quite just pop into any YMCA. It doesn't work that way. But your business model does. Y'all reciprocate. So I always have access to a convenient place to work out because that's a danger for me. So I kind of went on. You can go on anytime. What's the website?
AnytimeFitness.com.
AnytimeFitness.com. And you can see where all of these locations are. So if you're one that travels, which I do, occasionally I'm in Nashville, I'm in Knoxville, I'm in Virginia, I'm in North Carolina, I'm in Georgia. If you're one that travels and travels quite often, there's probably not a better business to get your fitness needs met. Because we've all been in the hotel
Yeah.
that has the treadmill and weights up to 15 pounds.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Right.
Oh, now the buffet, the breakfast buffet.
Oh, that works really well. Yeah.
But the fitness room really is lacking.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You want to be able to maintain your regular workout regimen with the equipment you're familiar with, and you guys offer that.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get to the river, and I'm going to put you guys through a ManUp special, which is called Best Worst. We're going to see how you
let's
do in Best Worst here. So on best worst. Sorry, I thought I had more time during that break to break into the Swiss cake roll. Best worst works like this, gentlemen. I give you a couple of categories, and you tell me the best in that category or the worst in that category. So, for instance, we've done this with movies before. So we were like the best movie with the worst actor. Oh, so you kind of have to
Think it
drill
over
a
All the
little bit.
Stallone movies. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to do this with fitness. So this is in your wheelhouse. You do not have to agree, and there are no wrong answers, but you can be incorrect.
Okay.
I will award points. This is a lot like Whose Line Is It Anyway? I will award points, and there will be a winner at the end of this, okay? So are you ready?
Sure.
So here's our first question in Best Worst here. Best workout DVD series.
Wow.
So I'm a fan of using weights, and a lot of the DVD systems, you know, are going to be just like Billy Blank's Tybo, where you're just kicking and stuff. So I would probably say, just in terms of using the weights, I'd probably say P90X.
Okay.
I've heard Buns of Steel the most of any of them, but yeah, I'd say P90X as far as the latest and what's out there.
Okay. And you can bring your P90X because you have to have space to do P90X. And
Right.
you guys have a
Exactly.
studio at Anytime
Right.
Fitness.
Oh, we do.
You can pop your DVD of choice in there and the studio, and it'll fire up on a huge
Yep,
screen. And you
137
can
inches.
feel the burn and
Oh,
get
yeah.
the music loud and not
Yes.
worry about what your neighbors think.
Exactly.
Okay, and waking the baby or anything like that.
Or the
Okay.
people downstairs.
All right. Worst fitness role model.
Worst fitness role model.
There's plenty out there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of experts.
Let's see here.
I mean, the Richard Simmons of the world.
So you're not a big sweat into the oldies.
I mean, yes. I mean, it's entertainment more than.
Yeah. I was trying to think if I should go serious or funny on this
I'm
answer.
thinking a lot of wrestlers out there.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, you both got 10 points for the first answer.
Okay, thank
great,
you. Good,
great,
good.
great,
We're
great.
tied. I would go with worst fitness role model.
I'm gonna say Jane Fonda's. I may date myself.
Plus 30 points for Jim with Jane Fonda.
I'm gonna piggyback off it just because I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna say Richard Simmons.
Okay, negative 10 points for harping on the guy who still wears a perm with Grace. Okay,
This is true. This is
You
true.
gotta love those pants you wear, or shorts you wear, man.
okay.
At least you say Jack LaLanne.
We got 2 more here. We got about 3 minutes. Worst diet plan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good
I would say Atkins.
old Atkins.
Old Atkins, low carb stuff, ketogenic diet. That's a popular one now. That it's for some people in some cases it's good to have low sugar intake, but they've actually found that if you match the calories with a ketogenic diet with just a regular diet,
Now define ketogenic for idiots.
that is
like
basically taking out any sugar.
Okay.
Basically, you're basically not eating any sugar, very low carbohydrates. When they found that when they compared that diet with a low carb to a regular diet with the same amount of calories, you get the same results. And so it's basically torturing yourself unnecessarily, and you're also probably going to lose some muscle. So I would say ketogenic diet.
plus 10 points for being convincing.
Yeah. It
And
sounds
using
good
the
whether
word
it's-
ketogenic.
Whether it was right or wrong, it sounded good. It's just like me. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. I'm going to say the old Atkins because Atkins has evolved a lot because it's trying to get in with the mainstream.
Okay.
But really, all diets, specific diets are wrong. It's about having a good lifestyle, eating a balanced meal, and being consistent with it. And that's the things that we talk about. When we're
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So they're all bad.
They're all bad.
The ones that you just put into a box and say, this is all you need to do.
Gotcha.
How many points was that?
The worst fitness device ever marketed on as
This
seen on
is
TV.
easy. This is easy. It's
Yeah.
the shake weight.
The shake weight.
The
That's
shake weight.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
this-
I do gotta say for Mildred, the thigh master. But
Okay,
Mildred, you know who you are, Valley.
I'll give you both 10 points on that. We were going for the bun jiggler thingy.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
true.
you go with
That's a
that
carburetor
too.
thing.
Yeah, there's so many of them, but
So Jim wins this round only because you hated on the perm.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think it's important for people to man up and realize that fitness and nutrition are industries, and in any industry, you have false prophets and you have frauds. You have people who are more about marketing than they are substance. You have people who are more about selling you something than actually doing you some good. And so I'm going to encourage you, just like I would for, we talked about Woodman Life, financial advice, work with a financial advisor. Do not get your financial advice from the internet. Go to a family doctor. Do not get your medical advice from the internet. Same thing with fitness. Work with these guys who are trained, who know, who are in and out of the research. Go see them at Anytime Fitness over there at the corner of 25th and Decoe. We'll have an update next week with you guys. I'll see you later today, buddy.
Absolutely.
I'll see you
We'll
later
be in there
today.
later.
Rachel, it's on like Donkey Kong. Thank you to Jim. Thank you to Ryan. The guys at Anytime Fitness. Go see them. This special for 30 days is how much for what you described?
It's $59.
$59.
no
You
obligation. Just
cannot
put
beat it.
30 days.
It's worth the weight assessment to do it. All right? That's all we have for today. I'm the good Dr. J. Adam here on ManUp America Talk 101.3 The Buzz WTMB Television. We'll see you mañana.